The men's basketball team was looking to hit their stride before the holiday break, and Zach Aaron now joins me to see if they could get it going.
Well, Chris, the past month that students had off for winter break had been busy for the Point Park Pioneers men's basketball team. The Pioneers went into the break with a record of 6-5 overall and 2-1 in conference. The Pioneers went 3-4 over the break and 2-4 in conference games. They lost to IU Southeast, Brescia, Alice Lloyd all away, and Berea at home most recently. In the game against Berea, the Pioneers couldn't get a three-point shot to go down, while Berea was able to dominate the Pioneers on both ends of the ball. And the Mountaineers ended up winning by a score of 89-80. The Pioneers were only 3 for 30 from beyond the arc, while Berea was shooting nearly 47% with 15 of 32 three-pointers made. That put the Pioneers at 9-10 overall with a conference record of 4-5. A lot of problems for the Pioneers lately have come from their limited bench. The 5 usual starters have been playing anywhere between 35 and 40 minutes per game. The injury bug has been plaguing the Pioneers, on top of a few players that aren't able to play due to academic reasons. This is an inconvenient time of the season to have a limited bench such as the Pioneers do, however. Every game from this point forward is a conference game, with 4 of 8 of them being on the road. The next few weeks will be the biggest test of the season for the Pioneers to see what they got. If they can win a good few of them, they'll be in a good position for the conference tournament, and maybe they'll possibly be able to host a home game. The next opponent for the Pioneers is this Saturday when Asbury makes a visit.
Now, Zach, you look at the road ahead here, and you see that they really are going to verse some in-conference opponents. How big is it for the Pioneers to really get something going and win some of the games?
It's huge for the Pioneers to win these games. Most of the games that the Pioneers will be playing are against the top teams in the conference, and at least one of them in the nation, with IU Southeast being ranked 4th in the nation. So, I mean, if they can beat IU East and a team like Brescia and Berea, they'd be in a really good position because all of these teams are atop the KIAC standings. Right now, the Pioneers are 5th.
Now, Zach, they've had their struggles on the roads this season. They've really been a completely different team at home. What is the big issue that they cannot just win any games on the road?
It's a very interesting question you raise, Chris, and that's a question I've been asking myself a lot. I just think it all goes to the travel time mixed in with the limited bench, like I said. Players such as Nick Brown and Gabe McNeil, Robbie Hetherington, Matt Nozka, since they've been playing 35 or 40 minutes a game every game for the past month or so, they're really starting to get really tired. I think it's really starting to show, and especially with these 6-7 hour bus rides, I think it's really been fatiguing them. I think that's what's been the big problem, and it's something they're clearly going to have to get over if they expect to do damage in the conference.
Now, Zach, they have a lot of that conference stuff coming up. We've already talked about that. We've talked about the struggles. What can they really do, though, to take that home mindset and really put it on the road, though, and really come away with some big wins that they will need later in the season?
The one thing I could think of the Pioneers that they need to do is they just need to get, I think the bench, and I think that a player like Josh Polott, who has stepped in for Alan Heater for this semester, who can't play due to academic reasons, he really needs to step up a little bit bigger just to compensate for the loss of Alan Heater, because Alan Heater was huge down low and getting rebounds and getting quick putbacks. So a player like him will really add to the roster in the loss of one of our starters.
Thanks, Zach. This week in national sports, the NFL is all set for the big game in New York City. The AFC Championship Denver Broncos will meet the NFC Championship Seattle Seahawks. The Broncos defeated the New England Patriots by a score of 26-16 behind a franchise record performance 400 yards by Peyton Manning. The Broncos jumped out to a 20-3 lead and never looked back. The Seahawks struggled in the first half against the San Francisco 49ers, and 10-3 at the half was the score. In the final minutes, the 49ers drove down the field in the final minutes before a late interception sealed the deal for the Seahawks. This is the Broncos' 7th championship appearance and the Seahawks' 2nd. The games are not the only football news on Sunday. In the postgame of the NFC Championship game, Seattle cornerback Richard Sherman took out some frustrations against 49ers receiver Michael Crabtree in his interview with Fox Sports' Aaron Andrews.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get. Don't you ever talk about me.
Who was talking about you?
Crabtree, don't you open your mouth about the best. Or I'm going to shut it for you real quick. LOB.
All right, and Joe, back over to you.
The AFC Championship game also had some controversial comments said afterwards, as the Patriots head coach Bill Belichick said Bronco receiver Wes Welker intentionally injured cornerback Aqib Talib.
And this could be an interesting start.
And it sure was an interesting start, as this one could be viewed as old-time hockey, as the Vancouver Canucks and Calgary Flames had over 150 minutes of penalties 2 seconds into the game. The teams both started their fourth lines, creating hostilities early. Then both teams dropped the gloves after the opening faceoff. The heated tensions saw 10 players put into the penalty box, and the tensions did not stop there, as in between periods, Canucks coach John Tortorella attempted to enter the Flames' locker room. The game ended with the Canucks winning 3-2 in a shootout. The Coors Light Stadium Series starts this week with the Anaheim Ducks taking on the Los Angeles Kings at Dodger Stadium. The ice is still taking form as weather is in the 80s for highs, but the game temperature is expected to be in the 60s. Wayne Gretzky said that this is a great day for both the Ducks, the Kings, and the NHL as well. The teams take it outside on Saturday at 9:30 on the NBC Sports Network. Don't go anywhere, because after this break, I sit down with men's basketball player Gabe McNeil. You're watching the Pioneer Sideline here on UView.